So the theme of our 2022 forum is advancing technology-based learning in Nigeria. That is, we are somewhere, we want to put the thing from gear 1 to 2 or from 2 to 3 and so on. I'd like to thank again SCS for this invitation, and we'll begin, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. We say technology-based learning. I've added teaching to it. So I'm looking at technology-based teaching because it's different, or they overlap at some point, and technology-based learning. Together, they are called technology-based education. So that's what we're looking at. And what is it? Well, by way of definition, it's an integration of instructional technology into the learning environment of school. So you have the teacher on one end, you have the learners on the other end, and in between them, you have this technology. So you have the technology intervening between what the teacher is delivering and what the students are learning, and we can look at it as use of technology to enhance the student learning experience. I have 4 questions to pose, and I'm not going to ask, I'm going to be answering the questions myself. We're going to start with, we're talking about advancing technology-based learning. So we want to establish where we are. That is situation analysis. Where should we be? And then we're going to do a gap analysis. After identifying the impediments and challenges, how do we demolish the obstacles on the way to the promised land? Let's begin with the situation analysis. Where are we in Nigeria today with regard to technology-based learning? There are 4 elements that will guide my presentation of this situation analysis. The first is the infrastructure and tools for delivery. The other is the readiness of the students. The other is the readiness of the teachers. And then how the 3 earlier ones combine. How is it delivered in our schools? Over the years, actually 21 years, my team and I will be conducting studies relating to the subject, the theme of this forum. In 2001, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, when God gave me the opportunity of being Executive Secretary of the National Universities Commission, we started the Virtual Institute for Higher Education Pedagogy, VHELP. And I served as director of this institute, and we were delivering our content to the professors, senior lecturers, everybody who cares to be part of this in the Nigerian university system. Of course, we had some people from the College of Education and from the polytechnics join us. So I have data from 2001 or from our virtual institute. By 2002, UNESCO made a call for entities that can mount what they call the Uwana Akpan. It's marking my screen. Can you please stop doing that? Virtual Institute for Higher Education in Africa. So the NUC won that bid to host the Virtual Institute for Higher Education in Africa. And then from that year up to the time I left office, we're running this. And we're carrying out our studies about technology enhanced learning. For the Virtual Institute for Higher Education Pedagogy, we're only concentrating within Nigeria. But for the higher education VHEF, for the Africa one, we're training people all over Africa. And I must let you know that over 10,000 professors, senior lecturers, and all of that from all over Africa went through our hands from 2003 to 2006. Then by 2010, the federal government came with its e-learning program, and I was asked to coordinate this, and we did that. So studies were conducted as part of this. 2015, the Lagos State government contracted us, my team and I, in Lagos State University to deliver the e-learning program. That was something else, very awesome. And we collected data from this too. And then 2018, we had a national study on the state of e-learning readiness in Nigerian schools. And by last year, very good thing, the National Universities Commission, under the superlative leadership of Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, as Executive Secretary, started a virtual institute for capacity building in higher education. All through this, I served as a director or coordinator or whatever. So the 20 years, 21 years of experience in doing this thing will not lead me. Okay, we're talking about infrastructure and tools here. Will not lead me to share with you where we are. Situation analysis. So I'm going to do a trend analysis, by the way. Let's see now. If you can see my screen, you have 4 colors. You have the purple, the gray, the orange, and the blue. We're going to start with the blue. That is infrastructure and tools for delivering what we say we're looking at today. But let me collapse all of them to say e-learning. In 2001, you will marvel at what we had. It was skeletal. It was, if you look back now, you find that, we really tried. The participants from our universities really tried. You get a modem, you get a desktop, you get all of that, and we delivered. It was quite something. It was archaic, but it was good. We're reaching out to them everywhere they are. So you can see the blue bar there. And just let's move on through the blue bar. In 2003, it was slightly better. 2010 has improved. You can see as up to 2021, you can see the rapid, the gradual improvement. From 2018, 2021, you can see it has climbed several percentage points. We had it as 40.8% in 2018, 2021, 62.3%. Let's move on, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to teachers' readiness. Teachers' readiness. And that is the gray bar. You can see that teachers' readiness, the growth in the bar of teachers' readiness is improving, is increasing, but at a very slow rate. We'll move on quickly now to students' readiness. You can see the students' readiness, that's the orange bar. You can see it's towering above all of them. And the deployment of e-learning, that is, you have a situation where, yes, the students are ready, the infrastructure and tools are there, and you are now deploying it. You are now teaching your biology, your chemistry, your physics, your geography, and all of that through technology-mediated instruction. So you will see the development of e-learning. That's the purple bar. That's the last one on top of each of the clusters of the years. You can see that was 0.8% in 2001, and it's 45.8 last year. So this is not too bad at all. So we did a linear median for the deployment of e-learning. You can see how it has grown steadily over the years. In 2015, as I mentioned to you, the Lagos State government contracted us to implement e-learning and deploy social media as a strategy for boosting achievement of Lagos State secondary school students. This is a success story. Time does not permit me to elaborate on it, but if you want this report, it's about 1,000 pages. I'll be delighted. Send me a mail. I think you'll see my email ID at the end of this. Send me a mail and we will send you this report. The first thing we did in Lagos State was to establish the state of e-learning readiness in terms of facilities, in terms of teacher preparation, in terms of students' readiness, preparation, and all of that before we now deployed. We did the same for Kano. I mean, we carried out the same survey for Kano, for Kwara, for Lagos, for Rivers and Sokoto States. How did we select this? We just, on the basis of geopolitical zonal spread. And what were our findings? Mind you, we're looking at where we are with regard to, in this case, e-learning readiness, that is, with regard to the topic of this forum, the deployment of technology-based learning. We found that over 2/3 of those students that we surveyed told us that their schools are e-learning ready in terms of the ICT facilities and internet connectivity. These students, 68% of them confirmed that yes, they have ICT devices and they use social media and all of that, What about the teachers? Less than 40% of teachers adjust themselves to be e-learning ready. Now, the favorite social media that they use, Facebook, YouTube, and all of that, and we deployed our intervention on Facebook. And if you are interested in the procedure, just Google Lagos. Oh, by the way, mind how I pronounce this word. I'm not intending to insult anybody. But when I hear Google, can you Google it? I develop those pimples. The G has two O's. So it's not Google like glasses that I use. So when I see computer people use say Google, not Google it. Go and Google it. Don't let the Google people hear. They will just sanction you. Now, so if you Google LSG LASU e-learning program, you're going to find us there, and you're going to find details of the studies that we conducted and the intervention too. Other findings: half of the teachers and the students, the challenge, cost and irregular power supply. Cost of the tools that will be used to themselves, to their schools. They took this to be the constraints to the effective use of ICT and social media for any form of e-learning. And of course, we know irregularity of internet connectivity was also identified by the students and teachers as a factor that is limited. On all the measures, of course, rural schools were found to fare worse than urban schools. On all the measures, private schools fared better than public schools. So the first question is, where are we? Which I've answered. The second question is, where should we be? You know, when I was reflecting on this presentation, I said, where should we be? If I make it open-ended, that would be that would not be good, because of the flux, the dynamic nature of this ICT that we're talking about. 2027, 5 years from now, is where I decided to pitch this thing, because we're in an era moving in slowly but surely into Internet of Things. So the story will change. So what I've decided to do here is to keep it at 2027. And please just give me a minute now. So where do I think we should be in 2027? You will see some contrasts from my findings in situation analysis with what I'm projecting now. I'm projecting that in 5 years' time, at least 30% of secondary schools in Nigeria and 70% of our universities, today, the 19th day of January 2022, we have 201 universities. By in another 5 years, we'll have 200 and X universities. I assume that there will be many more. You can see I put it at 30% of our secondary schools. Why did I put it there? The survey that we did before showed that the students were about 60% ready, teachers about 40% ready. But I'm saying here that 30%, at least 30% of our secondary schools. Why am I pitching at 30%? This is because of my field experience. If you go to all states of the Federation, go to rural areas, go to rural secondary schools, almost like nothing there. Even in urban centers, when I go for teaching practice and I go to some of our schools, I lament. So I don't want to deceive myself, because if you pitch this thing higher than this, by the time you are now doing an end term assessment, by 2025, you will do a midterm review. By 2027, you do the end term assessment. You'll find that if I put this thing and say at least 70%, I'll just be deceiving myself, because I know the state of our secondary schools in Nigeria regarding ICT infrastructure, regarding e-learning readiness. It can't be more than this in terms of where we should be. And 70% of our universities is what I've put in there, that should be well resourced for technology-based learning. 70% of our universities, because of some rapid changes that are happening in the universities, I know, because we do Baba Rashid, that's my Oga, the ESAUC. Every year we have the state of university education in Nigeria, where a report of the ICT issues and all other issues are reported. So I've been tracking that. And I know that by 2027, about 70% of our university will be resourced for technology-based learning. And you see that the TED Fund, Professor Suleiman Bogoro, is doing quite well. So they are resourcing our universities quite well. Now, I'm projecting that by 2027, where should we be with regard to capacities of our students and teachers? I think that at least 60% of our secondary school students and 90% of lecturers in our universities, the NCC, my brother is here, will factor, I didn't want to say higher education because I don't have data. I know Pius is a great man, Pius, ICT man in NCC. I don't have data for the polytechnics and for the college of education. Because when you say where it should be, you are doing something like a regression analysis and forecasting. So I can't forecast for others. That's why I'm forecasting only for the university system. That at least 60% of secondary school students and 90% of university lecturers should have their capacities strengthened to deliver quality technology-based education. Next forecast. At least 25% of our secondary school classes and 65% of lectures, practicals, and workshop sessions in our universities should be technology-based. So these are my three forecast predictions for 2027. There are challenges. What are these? Quite a number of them. Well, weaknesses in ICT infrastructure and cost of internet service. Illiteracy, that one day heavy. Digital illiteracy of teachers at all levels. Go to our primary schools, go to our secondary schools, our universities are better, but you still have high level of digital illiteracy. And that's a challenge. So you want to deliver e-learning, and a major strength, a component or pillar of it is for you to be digitally illiterate, and you are digitally illiterate. So that's a challenge. And then we have capacity deficit of teachers to deliver e-learning and several others. But the good news, which I've called the enhancers. So COVID-19 came, people who did not want to hear about open and distance learning, by God's special grace, I'm giving a work in National Open University of Nigeria, the #1 university, open university in Africa, and the largest in terms of enrollment. We enroll about 600,000 students, and we are hoping to hit the 1 million mark in about 4 or 5 years. So that COVID-19 lockdown, now let people see what NOUN and the other distance learning centers are doing. So they enhance the thing. The students are saying, look, we can't sit at home. This lockdown, we don't know when it's going to be lifted. So secondary schools, some primary schools, especially the private ones, universities, especially the private ones, moved into the online delivery mode. Later, the blended mode. So it was a great enhancer. And then you have political will. The Honorable Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, was very clear in his mind about where Nigeria should be. So he supported programs and projects that help to, of course, in his strategic ministerial strategic plan, he has it there. ICT in education. So our political will and action by our minister, that's education, and the Minister of Communications and Digital Economy. So we have political will and action. And I tell you, the Federal Minister of Education, several state ministers of education have increased investments in computer education. Come to Lagos State, you find the heavy investment. Go to Rivers State, go to Oyo, go to Kano. I came back from Kano about 3 weeks ago. I was impressed with what the Kano state government is doing. Even though in some of these states, they think they will chop money there, but at least they are delivering. We're seeing some computers, and I'll come to that towards the end of my presentation. And let's take the activities of the Nigeria Computer Society under the leadership of Professor Adesina Shodiya, FNCS MCPN, a great leader. I'm very proud of you, sir. Very proud of you. You brought freshness of vision to NCS, and you are taking NCS in a direction that history will remember you very, very well for. So the activities of NCS and related organizations that are here can be pulled together as enhancers. Now, we're moving on to how we can get there. How do we get to that promised land that I listed earlier? Now, the cost of devices for technology-based learning, the costs are dropping, but the poverty level of Nigerians is rising. So we've got to find a way of getting the devices to be affordable for our schools, for our teachers, and for our students. I'll be in the US on Friday. The ticket that I used to buy, the cost of the ticket remains the same. But when I then wanted to buy the thing in Naira, I had to pay 5 times that amount. So I'm just using that as an example because the same thing applies to all the things, all the devices that we're going to be using for our technology-based learning, of teaching, of education. Now, I want to recall that I was part of the initial development in the MIT Media Lab, initial thinking of the one laptop per child project. Professor Negroponte, who was coordinating this, we worked together in the Media Lab. And then when this thing matured, when the OLPC, one laptop per child thing matured, I invited him to Nigeria. My minister then, Professor Chinwe Obaji, we had sessions with Nigerian government, $100. Everything was set, but political will didn't carry this thing through. The one laptop per child project is doing well in several other countries. So we need to get some intervention at the political level to make this to happen. NIDA, you're doing excellently well. We're proud of you. The Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy also doing very well. So you have to be part of this effort on how to get there, get to where available, ensuring that low-cost devices for technology-based learning are affordable and available to students. Now, we need to improve the national ICT infrastructure. It's been improved, but we need to accelerate the pace, including cheaper internet service, electricity. Did you know that the 2020 report, the state of university education in Nigeria, because I'm extracting the ICT component there. Over the years, I've been extracting. Our universities will claim that they provide 24 hours internet service for their students. Big lie in many cases, big lie. Yes, it is possible for a week. When accreditation is on and you have visitors, they can do that for a week. But why are they not able to do that? They're not able to do it because of cost. Let's say 3/4 of the universities, public universities that we have in Nigeria today, spend not less than 40 million naira a month for diesel. Then when they top up, when you add the cost of electricity from the public power supply, then it's huge. So we need to find a way of getting this thing to be cheaper. I'm happy to note that National Universities Commission, working with partners, is getting the NG-REN in place and getting how we can make the cost of internet to be cheaper. So we need to improve digital literacy skills of our teachers. I hate to say this, but many but that's outside Professor Additional Shudi and all the others who are contemporary. Because Professor Additional Shudi, when United Nations universities and all of that, he's been everywhere. So it's contemporary. Did you know that a good proportion, well, don't let me say a good proportion, so a small proportion, if you plot a curve, normal curve, on the left side of it, the left side of it, you have quite some professors of computer science that are as analog as they come. As analog as they come. When I say analog as they come, I'm being extreme. But what you find is that I recall that in 2002, 2003, when we're doing a virtual institute and I was directing it, so you will lament at the kind of the knowledge level and the skill level of some of our, I'm not saying all of them, some of our professors of computer science very, very, very way back. So we need to improve their digital literacy skills. Most of them are not even too keen. But the good thing is that their students are ahead of them in many of these things. And some of them are ready to learn from them, cooperate or partner them in writing papers for publication. Next is revising the curriculum to emphasize digital literacy. Oh, the earlier one, I'd like to thank the Teachers Registration Council of Nigeria under Professor Ajiboye for the great work that you are doing. I'm happy that you're running training programs for teachers to enhance their digital literacy skills. We must continue to do more there. On the curriculum, there's Akeola Ojo. Please, Akeola Ojo, you may wish to stop marking my for the curriculum. I'm happy to let the participants here know, there are 305 of us in the room now, know that the National Universities Commission, ably led by Professor Abubakar Damour-Rashid, has come up with a new, highly re-engineered curriculum in all the subjects that are offered in the Nigerian university system, and digital literacy is a major component of it. If you want to do history, course of digital literacy is there. You want to do English, you want to even do computer science and all of that. So we have to put into place curricula at all levels that will emphasize digital literacy. Let me tell you why putting in the curriculum is important. Because the curriculum is the trigger for the certificate. So if it's in the curriculum and you do not teach it and it's not examined, the chances of the person not earning the certificate are very, very high. So I'm happy that we're making progress in this. And the next one is for refresher courses. Happily, Dr. Mohammed Mahmoud, a good technical brother, is here. We need the Federal Ministry of Education. You see, in the past, I recall that in the 1980s, up to about 1990, because by 1984, the Federal Ministry of Education started the National Young Scientist Competition. And I was asked to be National Quiz Master. We did it for up to 1990. By 1990, we metamorphosed it to the Junior Engineers, Technologists, and Scientists Competition. That is JESS competition. So every year from 1984, the Federal Ministry of Education organizes long vacation courses for teachers in the science subjects, and it was really good. So I do not know. I'm sorry if I have. I'm not too recent in this, but I think that if it is not being implemented, the Federal Ministry of Education should explore the possibility of reactivating this long vacation training program for teachers. And I've said secondary level to professors. Our professors need to be updated in their knowledge and their skills in computing. We have to put an eye on security. To set up a network, security. I want to put an eye on maintenance. Yeah, I told you about computers being bought in many of these states. Go to them. The people who supply the computers, they will sign maintenance agreements They give kickback to who they want to give kickback to, and they don't show up again after 1 year at least, at most. So the maintenance of the infrastructure and tools should be top priority if we want to get to where I propose we should get to in 2007. I want to focus on indigenous content development. I hate to see, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, when somebody is doing a PowerPoint presentation and all you find there, go to the images on the web and take all these Oyibo people, just put the thing there. Look, you letting the world think that African man is a slave. African man cannot do it. So if I watch if I come, you make a presentation and you're taking images and you have the Igbo people there, oh my goodness, I have some harsh words to share, with you on it. So you see, indigenous content, what do I mean by that? You're teaching biology. We've got to put content in biology that arise from Africa, from the context of Africa, for the context of Nigeria. We have to develop. The teacher has to use examples, local examples. He has to use, or she has to use content that will relate to the cultural milieu of the students. So what have I done over the years? Because mine is not theory. Since 2020 years, I've been doing this business. I have developed. You can just go to my channel. You'll find, in fact, the other day, I think it was last week, and I have over 400, yes, 400 indigenously developed training videos on computer science education, on advanced statistics. So if you want to learn from basic principles, the most advanced of statistical tools, just go to my channel or just Google. If it's, for instance, multivariate analysis of variance, just go to say Peter Okebukola video multivariate analysis of variance. I will give you quite a number of my videos on that, on any of the statistical thing. Even I have a series, Statistics Made Easy. I have some on computer engineering, some on, it's all over the place. So we ought to be developing indigenous content. So what do we have these days? A professor or a lecturer or a teacher will now go to this thing and be getting videos from elsewhere. Why not? It's fine. But let us also develop indigenous content. So that's my view of how to get it. I have good news though. Within Africa, Nigeria, we are no pushover. So don't let anybody deceive you to say technology-based learning in Nigeria is the worst case scenario. No. The Global University Network for Innovation, that's GUNI, the Africa chapter, GUNI was established by UNESCO in 2000. That's 22 years old now. And I serve as the regional president. We conducted a regional study. Regional means throughout Africa. There are 55 countries in Africa today. Among the 55 countries, we find that Nigeria, in terms of technology-based learning, teaching and learning, or education, we are about top 10. But we shouldn't rest on our oars. We should aim to be among the top 3. Let me close by sharing with you a case study. I told you all the things that we have been doing over the years, but this one is recent. This is a case study on Virtual Institute for Capacity Building in Higher Education. Why am I bringing this case study? I'm bringing this case study because we're talking about how we can advance technology-based learning. I can move from Gear 2 to 3. This is one example of how that can be done. This was officially launched by my boss, Professor, his academic eminence. Let me tell you about this HAE. H is his, A is academic, E is eminence. It's academic eminence because you have everybody. So for us, everybody gets His Royal Majesty, His Imperial Majesty. Not only you sabi do that one. In the academia in Nigeria, Baba Rashid, Professor Abubakar Damo Rashid, MNI, MFR, FNAL, HLR, is our boss. So it's his academic eminence. It's like the Pope here. So he officially launched this, and this under the auspices of National Universities Commission, but powered, heavily powered by the National Open University of Nigeria. So we let people know in National Open, all over the world. I serve as chairman of council of that university. That National Open University is the number one, is the bunge of them all. So let me just see if I can. Let me just show you how this thing, how this works. The virtual institute. I have it right here. I'm closing. So vigbay.org is where you'll get it. So Google it and enjoy our institute. So we have modules that we have been running. We have some that are still, we have fundamentals of skills development and entrepreneurship. Hey, mind that I pronounce this word though, not entrepreneurship. Sorry if I'm not, I'm not, how do I put it now? If you think I'm not doing, I'm insulting, no. If you pronounce the word correctly, I think it will be better for all of us. The word is entrepreneurship. Just a minute. Not entrepreneurship. This one, entrepreneurship. So quality assurance of research, innovation, and IT, theory, practice, and current developments in quality assurance, open and distance learning, principles and practices, and all of that. So we have all these modules which we're running. We completed 3 modules. Just a minute. Let me log in, and then you'll see what you have. We've completed 2 modules. We're in the 3rd module now. The module that is coming up is theory, practice, and current developments. No, we've done this one. And current developments, quality assurance in higher education. This one, yeah, okay. So this ran between 27th of September to the middle of October. So this for this week. This was for the last week of the training. So how does the training run? The training is exciting. All persons, and we run it for free. All persons who are desirous of taking advantage of the training. Let me tell you the modules that we have concluded. We concluded fundamentals of quality assurance. We've done fundamentals of accreditation. The one that is on now is theory, practice, and future of academic planning. We have modules in everything you can think of. We can run a module for Nigerian Computer Society, Professor Addition Oshodia, we can run a module for you. We can bespoke, we can customize whatever thing you want us to do for your organization and a number of others. So when you enroll, the program for the week is standard. On Mondays, for 1 hour, you got to come to class. Class will deliver on Zoom. We bring in experts from all over the world to deliver that content, which we call the conceptual track. We have the practical track. The practical track, because it's not just theory, it's not just like attending a seminar, is loading you with knowledge and loading you with skills. Professor Chen and Zewe, I salute you, man. I've seen you there. Now, the practical track, you will get the best in terms of skills on that module. So on Mondays, you get conceptual track. You also get the practical track. On Tuesday, you get a practical track. The practical track, you can come anytime because you don't want to disrupt your routine, the rhythm of your work. So, but the Monday one, you got to be there. On Monday, as I said, on the other track, you can come anytime to see the practical videos that we have shared with you, that we share with participants. On Tuesday, the same. And on Wednesday, everybody must come to class. But the time you are coming to class is at your discretion, between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. We put up a topic for discussion based on the week's work, and you contribute to the discussion forum. And we have a large number of grading facilitators that will now grade your contribution to the discussion forum, because by Thursday we release the results. By Friday, you are going to do a weekly test. The weekly test is opens at 8 p.m. just for an hour. 30 items, multiple choice. By Saturday, that's the exciting day. All the days are exciting, but Saturday, practicals throughout that day. By Sunday is free. Then so that is typical for the week. Week 3, because each of our modules run for about 6 weeks. Week 3, we let you know that you're going to do a project. By week 4, you do a comprehensive exam for the entire module. And then by week 5, you submit your project. And we have a graduation ceremony for those who have passed. And we have passed classification in 4 categories. Distinction, you scored 80% and above. Credit, 70 to 79%. Merit, 60 to 69. And then pass, if you have 50 and to 59. And then if you don't hit 50, then you are deemed to have wasted my time. I also wasted your time. So it was very exciting. And the joy for us, for Baba Rashid and all of us that are running the institute, is that the news don't scatter for Africa. We have several African countries. We have about 6 African countries that joined us for Module 1, Module 2. Did you know that Module 3, 15 African countries, they don't knock at our door. See, they have heard that this good thing is happening. So they are coming in to be part of this training. So on that note, I would like to summarize as follows. We've been able to look at where we are. You know, we want to advance technology-based learning. We look at where we are, so I will know what to advance to. We'll look at where we should be, and what are the challenges to letting us be where we should be. And we concluded on the note that yes, we're not doing too badly, but we can do better through the strategies that we have highlighted, and also showcase that it is doable. It's not the theory at all. Thank you once again for the invitation. I thank the president. Continue to wish you well. And if there's any way that you think you need me to support your work, Professor Additional Shudia, I'd be very delighted. Thank you.
Wow. When something is fantastic, we say it is fantastic. When it is fabulous, we say it is fabulous. But when something is more than fantastic and fabulous, we say it is fantabulous. So this, our professor, many professors have actually spoken very well. And another professor, most distinguished professor of our time. Oh, Africa, my Africa. Nigeria, my Nigeria. Nigeria of proud Okebukola. Nigeria of proud Adeshina. Thank you so much, sir. We are so grateful. God bless you. It's not ramification.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Bless you. Let me just hand over the microphone to the professor of our time, the president of the Young Computer Society, Professor Adeshina Shudia. Thank you so much for that, for listening.
Thank you so much again, Professor Peter Okebukola, our father. Our daddy, you used to be part of Nigerian Computer Society.
I still am. I still am. I never come out. Now leave me waka go. Now leave me waka come. So I still did there.
So we want to use this opportunity to invite you to come back to us.
Yes, sir.
We need you, and of course, I will have further discussion with you.
Yes, sir.
There is one award or honor of Nigerian Computer Society that has been waiting for you a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
I think now that you have come back to us, to also get closer and I've been part of the Virtual Institute.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
Yes,
Congratulations, sir.
I have a program. So I will still continue to be part of the Institute. And now that you have also told us that there are so many things we can do together with you,
Yes.
My members of Nigerian Computer Society are also always looking for how to acquire more knowledge and skills, that will be useful to them. We are talking about professionalism. So we'll have further discussion with you, sir.
All right, sir.
And now we can work together and especially apart from the areas of information technology, especially